Welcome everybody to another day of Starladder action. It's the Korea playoffs. I'm Gods and I'm going to be joined by Basekip for two best of threes today. We're on the second day of the playoffs. It's going to be up first, MVP Hot6 up against Monkey Span, and then second, the winner bracket final. It's going to be MVP Phoenix against Bird Gang. That's a big match to look forward to, and well, I'm not alone as said. I am going to be joined by Basekip. How you doing, Cameron?
Yeah, doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Yeah, pretty good. In a bit of well, I didn't realize the game was going to start so suddenly. I'm looking here. I'm like, okay, there's like 7 players in the lobby. I'll quickly just go use the toilet, come back, and then suddenly I get back and like the draft is on the screen. I'm like, oh shit. So,
Oh well.
I'm good now.
We're here. We didn't miss any other game, so I'm sure you can be forgiven.
We can get right into the draft though.
So I wasn't sure if I saw some people mentioning like, oh yeah, Ember Spirit and Magnus is a big thing in Korea, and I was like, yeah, okay, and well, looks like it actually is. So
I'm surprised they didn't just get the Magnus with their second pick. Like it's that
Really?
big a thing.
Wow.
Especially MVP teams have been running it a lot. So
Okay.
they really like this mass battle furies and cleave people down using sleight of fist. They play Ember Spirit like none of the other teams play Ember Spirit. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
Okay. Do you know what they do skill build wise? Is it the max chains inside a fist and only 1 point flame guard, or do they
They've been
max
doing
flame guard?
more max flame guard type builds,
Okay.
which doesn't seem to be the way that like your Arteezy, your Sing Sing seem to be going with the more sleight of fist and searing chains heavy builds. But
Yeah, interesting.
they're always just building for the
Honestly,
late game, so like you get a more defensive build with the flame guard, and you just wait till you have your 2 battle furies. So
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That makes a bit of sense. But unfortunately, I'm not as up to date on Korean Dota as I would like to be. I felt like back in the Starter League and the Sponsorship League, I was watching all of it, casting all of it, and then Starladder, I just kind of haven't been staying on top of it as much. So I honestly have not heard of Team Monkey Spanner before, and the only person I recognize on the team is 2D, and I recognize him from the SEA scene a while back. So. What's the storyline with these guys?
Monkey Spanner is kind of like the upcomers in the Korean scene. Khan's their carry player, and he's going to be handling the Clinks. He's actually played a few beastly Clinkses over the last few weeks, so definitely look towards him as one of the kind of big... I mean, he plays the carry role, but he plays it like a big playmaker. I mean, you mentioned 2D. He's kind of, like, to me, the guy who's been carrying this team as far as controlling the tempo of the game. And then MVP Hot6, actually, yesterday they had a KDL match, and it was with a different roster. I say that it was with their new roster, but their new roster apparently isn't allowed to play Starladder. They added Trout as well as Jar, who are some American Hon pros.
Okay, so the trend continues of more talent moving into Korea
Yes.
from the outside.
Yeah. Maybe that's where we need to go, Cameron. That's where
Yeah,
all the
I
easy
think
money is.
that's the playing gods. We
Where all
gotta.
the washed-up ex-pros and the wannabe pros go to play Dota. I'm making fun of all the players there, but while I'm saying I could do it myself, because I definitely fit into that category.
Nah, you're too busy with BTS. God,
Yeah.
that's the go. That's where the future is.
The place
But-
would be in shambles without me here. At least I like to think that.
How have you adjusted back to the US schedule? Things
Well,
good or?
There's not really a US or an Australian or an Asian schedule. There's just a BTS schedule, which pretty much involves being awake as much as possible,
Okay.
and then casting as much Dota as possible.
So this is a very sad game to be Nature's Prophet, I think.
Oh,
You're going to
yeah.
be hunted by Clinks, hunted by Storm. There's going to be Ice Blasts flying your way the whole game long. Hero's still great on the dire side, of course, but well, let's see how he does. Monkey Spanner are pretty much all in on the pickoffs. Can be a little bit dangerous, though. So far, MVP don't really have anything to punish them for it as far as the draft is concerned.
They get their 2 supports with CM Rubik, but I just feel like they've got no good tempo controller. Like, you've got the Storm Spirit, and even Clinks to some extent, once he gets his first item up, he can roam around a bit. But Ember Spirit, I mean, he can kind of roam and control the tempo, but the way the Koreans are playing him is not in that way. So I feel like they need to be looking for something like a Puck with their last pick, something that can just roam around the map and create space for your Ember Spirit, and even your Nature's Prophet. Like, Nature's Prophet needs some actual team fight heroes to sort of back him up, or at least be able to give him space to do his thing, rat Dota away.
Yeah, they're all pretty squishy, and they don't really have a whole lot of stuns to deal with the Storm Spirit as well. I mean, aside from the lift, that's pretty much the extent of it. So I don't know. We'll see what they for. A hero I wanted to see more of recently is, I guess, a bit more of the Brewmaster and a bit more Beastmaster as well. Though I don't know if they'll be going for either of them here. Brewmaster's a bit rough against Storm and Clinks.
You have to maybe wait for the Chinese Dota to come back, because they've been playing quite a lot of Brewmaster.
Yeah, that's been great. I've really been enjoying watching that.
So well, ECL's kicked up. Unfortunately, currently no English stream for that, but WPC kicks off on the 29th, I believe it is.
Exciting stuff.
Everyone gets their Chinese Dota fix back in, but...
Axe!
Oh, that's a hero.
That is quite a hero.
Is this like offensive tri-lane Axe? Like Dazzle Axe, like creep skipping behind the tier 1 tower kind of Axe?
Yeah, I think it might be. Clinks is a very capable 1v1 hero. Storm Spirit, of course, also very capable 1v1. And they can put a whole lot of pressure on this tri-lane. I mean, we were just touching on the fact that they're all really squishy. Yeah. And Ember Spirit, especially to physical damage,
Ember
which is going to be pretty scary.
Probably mid, I guess, now. Maybe they just say, look, Ember Spirit...
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. At this point, maybe you think we need to put Ember Spirit mid. Because I don't think you want Ember Spirit against this tri-lane. He's pretty useless there. So,
yeah, he's made of paper. He really is. So
yeah, Axe will bring the Axe right to him. So I think MVP look to just pick up some kind of a strong tri-laner here. They need some actual stuns and lockdown. This is where you want like your Starladder type hero. I mean, I don't know what else you go for, but they have 0 good stuns, like no AoE either. I'm not really liking this MVP line. They go Mirana though, so it does give them a good follow-up stun for the lift.
Yeah. Bit of a non-committal hero.
Yeah,
honestly.
Very neutral.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stand out or do anything, but it's not really particularly weak in any way. It's just,
Gives them another stun, maybe, depending on how good Adam is at landing arrows. So, we'll see.
Alrighty, well, we're going to get ourselves in the game. I need to actually turn my Dota 2 sounds back on. There we go. This is the cool thing about the Korea playoffs is they're actually, as you guys on the stream will have noticed, they're being played from a live venue that GOM TV have hosted. So you get player shots and stuff in between the games, which we'll be putting up on the stream here. And the players are competing on LAN. So this is a big deal. Like a Korean team will be representing Korea in Kiev at the LAN finals.
Yeah, it's exciting. Starladder is huge this season. I'm really excited. It's the next few months are going to be crazy for Dota.
Yeah, and we've got a little prize pool ticket. You guys can see in the bottom right, we've got up to over $202,000 in prize money for Starladder now, and a good 120k plus has come from the community. For those of you who don't know, there is a $10 Dota TV ticket and $2.50 from every purchase contributes to the prize pool. So, thanks to the awesome community, we've got a pretty big prize pool here. What it stays.
Yeah, it's been great.
Unfortunately for the Korean teams, well, for a Korean team, whichever one goes there, I think even anyone who gets to the LAN finals, I think, still gets some prize distribution. So, just qualifying, even if you end up last place at the LAN finals, like, you still get, I want to say it's like maybe even just like 2 to 3% of that prize pool, which is still a decent chunk of change. Like, that's still, what? My math isn't too great.
No, don't ask me to do it on the spot.
That would be, well, 1% would be $2,000 still. So 2 to 3%, you'd be looking at like $5,000.
Yeah, and it's even better for the teams that aren't going to end up using their full travel allowance as well, right? Because there's a certain amount set aside for each team to get there, but however much you use, well, it's going to depend on how far you have to go. So some teams are even immediately getting quite a bit.
Gotta get those budget flights. Skip on the flights, and I think Starladder, I don't know, Starladder have provided accommodation sometimes in the past, I'm not sure. With 8 teams, maybe it's not possible, but... Either way, this is a loser bracket match, so these two teams are fighting for survival. Neither really the favorites to leave Korea, to head off to the Ukraine for the LAN finals. That's going to be probably MVP Phoenix at this point. They're, to me, looking the strongest in Korea, although Bird Gang could give them a run for their money. But we'll introduce these two teams. We're going to see Monkey Spanner playing over on the Radiant side. It's going to be 4885 playing the Dazzle, Nace playing the Axe, Ancient Apparition being played by the Park, Solo Mid is going to be 2D playing the Storm Spirit, and then finally, in the safe lane farming role, it's going to be Khan playing the
battle
Clinks.
begins.
And I'll let you do the die side.
Awesome. So over on MVP, we have Dubu handling the Rubik, Sunbee on the Crystal Maiden, pretty familiar face. Adam is going to be on the Mirana, Danny's going to be heading towards mid as the Ember Spirit, and that leaves Andrew handling the offlane Nature's Prophet.
Yep. Level 1 smoke from MVP. They want to get aggressive and get aggressive early. They're looking for that early kill on 2D, but doing that's kind of tricky with the level 1 Ember Spirit. Like, maybe if you hit the Searing chains, but not the easiest thing in the world to do. 2D's already taking a bit of damage. He's actually tanking the creep wave a bit too much. He's completely out of position for this gank. The Searing chain should land, does land, and 2D now in a lot of trouble here. The Nova's been popped out. The lift is there as well. Pushes them back, and 2D, 1 or 2 more right clicks. That'll finish him off. Ember Spirit. Danny gets the first blood as well. That's a good start for MVP. That kind of helps make up for some of the weaknesses in their lineup, potentially.
Yeah, and that means that the Ember Spirit can be way more of a bully mid as well, just because he's going to get a fast bottle out right now. So things looking pretty good, and they're also going to pick up another smoke. So it looks like these supports are not going to fight the Axe tri-lane. They're just going to put pressure on the other 2 lanes, and in that way try and force the tri-lane to break up. And I really like this decision from them. The Miranda can just sit here.
Oh, CM can't use it on cooldown, passes it over, and Rubik's just going to smoke him again, I think. Is this going to be round 2 on mid lane? No. They decide against it.
If they'd had a little bit of anti-invis instead of maybe the salve on the Rubik, they could have gone for the Clinks all the way to bot. Probably wouldn't have expected that one either, but just going to go top now.
Bit of a dive top lane. Yeah, top lane actually needs the backup here. Chilling Touch goes out on 3 heroes, so I don't really want to find this Chilling Touch damage, but they've actually got numbers here. Nice 3-hero Crystal Nova TP in from the Nature's Prophet as well. And suddenly Monkey Spanner, they're going to lose at least one here. It looks like the Park's going to go down. They're looking for the trade. Andrew getting low here. Arrow going to go flying. Does hit 4885. The Dazzle going to go down 2 for 1 so far. Axe is spinning. Axe is chopping. Not enough spins coming his way. He didn't quite get the Crystal Main. He's still on the chase though. He gets another skill. It's a double kill for Nace. He's looking for 1 more spin. Can he get Dubu? He's going to do it. Oh, he doesn't quite do it. He goes down, but he gets the trade there. So a 3-for-3 bloodbath in the top lane. That was Axe coming to the party.
Yeah, that was a very even trade. Again, I think if they just gone and used that smoke, get another pick off, don't try and fight this Axe when he's in his prime, which is apparently right now because he's getting that many spins. So.
That was scary. And he's gone for the heavy battle hunger build, which I mean I'm okay with, but it feels like if you're playing this creep skipping variant, you maybe want to go for a Berserker's Call spin kind of play.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people only going 1 point hunger just for a little bit of extra move speed because call and spin are both great. No,
I definitely used to be on the train where you max battle hunger by level 7, but lately whenever I see axes go call plus helix, it just seems to do so much more damage potentially. And, well, we'll see Monkey Spanner commit to this top offensive trial, and the supports they smoke, but they're heading back top, I think, realizing that Mirana needs help. Battle Hunger goes out. That's a level 2 Battle Hunger. This is where Battle Hunger can be quite annoying. When you do get trapped underneath your tower, unable to get last hits here. There's going to be a rotation. Another Prophet TP in. This time around, they're going to go on the Dazzle. Arrow hits the Axe. He tanks it for the Dazzle. Does Dazzle have a Grave? He does. May just need to use on himself here. The Prophet's trying to chase him down. 1 more right click. Graves himself. Nicely played. That'll keep himself alive for a bit longer. The Sprout is there as well. Can Tango through this one? 4885 does get out of there. And now Axe will bring down Nature's Prophet. The TP in unsuccessful. 1-for-1 trade so far as AA goes down. Nace is looking for a few more spins. He gets nuked down though. The Nova Starstorm combined with a Fade Bot will finish him off. And now it looks like Dazzle has no way out of this one. Has a heal. No Grave to follow. Ooh, maybe okay here. Leap forward from the round. He gets a bit of extra movement speed. 1 more right click coming out. And Rubik will go down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ember Spirit. Got a kill. Solid kill at that. Rubik will go down at top lane. That was a triple kill for your Rubik. This Korean Dota feels like CIS Dota right now.
Yeah, plenty of action, and MVP actually pulling ahead. It is costing them a little bit because the Clinks is getting some really nice farm bottom lane, but I think they're just fine with the way that things are playing out, especially since they got that solo kill mid as well.
Not too sure how that one happened. I guess that's kind of like a byproduct of that, of the level 1 first blood. I mean, Danny gets the boots bottle up earlier. He's going to hit level 6 before Storm does, and as a result, he just does that much better. It looks like Mirana either suicides or... It must have been a suicide to neutrals. Yeah, he brought out a branch here. Decides it was just going to be quicker to heal himself up by just suiciding, and he's going to go back to lane at top. And they've lost the T1 tower. That's the other thing. So I think Monkey Spanner actually maybe have gotten the better of this top lane trade, because not only has Clinks been free farming, but they get a T1 tower out of it. Unfortunately for them, the Storm Spirit's not doing too well mid, but all in all... What the... What? These neutrals. Somebody stop them.
So we got to keep in mind that that's 2 kills that aren't actually kills.
Yeah, so it's actually 8 kills to 5.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly, I think, that they show up on the board like they do. But...
I've complained to Ice Frog multiple times about that, to other Valve people multiple times, and it hasn't been changed. One day, maybe.
One day.
It should show up on the scoreboard as a death, but it shouldn't show up at like the top as a kill.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's like a kill tally, not a death tally. Well, here comes the rotation. I think they decide now is the time to shut down the Clinks. Khan's having a pretty good time down here. And they'll just leave Axe to do his action at top lane. Clinks does need to be careful. They've got Dust from here, so he pops. Oh, doesn't have mana for a death pact here. This should be a kill going with MVP, but double TP's coming in. Monkey Spanner already. They're prepared. Sprout immediately comes out. Nature's Prophet on the run. Will get out of the Cold Feet proccing. Well, Monkey Spanners don't get anything in return. They haven't got the best counter gankers, but the big thing is they kept the Clinks alive. And meanwhile, top lane, Nate, well, he's doing Axie things. Diving towers.
Yeah, got caught out. We've seen this Nature's Prophet spend so much time top lane up until this point in the game.
I don't like how the Nature's Prophet's played as far as he's focusing too much on ganking and TPing when he could have like 25 CS right now with like at least a phase boots up and maybe close to a Midas. He's got 7 CS as a Nature's Prophet from a 1v1 matchup. That to me is just not what you should be trying to do as a Nature's Prophet.
Is missing.
It is difficult for the Prophet just to sit and 1v1 against the Clinks. I mean, you get a little bit ahead because you're just sending the Treants at him non-stop, but I'm not too opposed. Maybe that last TP was a little bit of a questionable move from him, but I think the earlier ones to go and fight the tri-lane were just fine.
Yeah. Well, Nate's now, he's hit himself level 5 even after that death under the enemy tower. 2, 3, and 2. That's, I mean, a high impact axe one way or another. And we're going to see a rotation coming out from the Ember Spirit. Joins the bottom lane. He is going for that Slider Fist plus Searing Chains build, so no Flame Guard. And this is just going to allow him to actually come into these fights a lot earlier with that Slider Fist Searing Chain spam. Has pretty much all his early game core items that he need. Like the phase, the wand, the bottle. Pretty much good to go.
Yeah, it's pretty much set, and as Ember you've always got pretty much infinite sustain with the bottle and a TP. You just send out a Remnant, TP back, fill up your bottle, heal up, Remnant back to the lane. You know, back you go to farming, and that lack of downtime is a really big feature of the hero.
Yeah, the Searing Chains when max. The 8-second cooldown just allows you to spam it. It does a lot of damage. Doing like a good, 300 magic damage at maxed out level. And combine that with the Slider Fist and the bonus damage there, and it's an 8-second cooldown for a 300 damage nuke.
Yeah, maxing them out, you get the opportunity to get multiple Searing Chains down with Slider Fist per gank. Early on, I mean, even if you I've seen some people put 3 points in Searing Chains, but only one Slider Fist, and then you get into the situation where you sometimes can't close out kills and whatnot. So I'm a much more a fan of this build. And 1 point in Flame Guard is fine if you feel like you need to be sitting around and farming jungle and pushing lanes. And it actually helps in terms of sustaining mana a little bit as well, because it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, and that level 1 is pretty cost effective for the actual damage you do. The magic absorb's pretty non-existent, but 30 damage a second, not bad. Danny's going to do a lot of good scouting here, get some good intel, and he can almost straight up kill this AA. Level 8, Prophet Ultimate comes in, maybe a TP as well. Searing Chains to start things off. Park just gets obliterated there. Doesn't need to be careful with Axe here, but he's just going to fire into the high ground. Gets invised up by the Mirana, but he's fine regardless. And maybe they use this invis to engage at bottom lane. Khan, he's got his first Oblivion staff up, but not much beyond that. And here comes the rotation. Clinks. Oh, this could be trouble. They've got sentries, they've got Dust, and I don't think Khan's got any way to survive this one. Dust immediately popped here. Khan gonna get caught by a Searing Chains. Hasn't got the Death Pact HP, so pretty straightforward kill for MVP.
Yeah, and MVP are just wandering the map, picking up kills really wherever they want. Clinks is still just straight farming towards an Orchid. Looks like the Storm Spirit is doing the exact same thing as well. So they're both just kind of trapped in lanes, farming for now. And MVP accomplishing a whole lot, so I think you already have to be a little bit worried for Monkey Spanner.
Yeah, like their offensive tri-lane I feel like broke even enough, but the fact that their Storm Spirit lost his lane so badly just seems to be really hurting them. 2D yet to get involved in a kill, and this is the guy who's been, for the most part, I mean, not carrying the team, but at least having high impact in most of their games. And this game has been completely shut down.
Yeah, it is worth pointing out that Monkey Spanner are up on gold, but that's just because they're up a tower right now, by and large.
It's a 2k gold lead, so that's, I mean, pretty sizable. That I mean, looking at the CS, they're all farming pretty well here. 2D now at mid lane. He's lost his dazzle, now he's on the run himself. Does need to be a bit careful. And well, oh, Prophet. He wants his courier. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to TP out, and I think he just needs to use it. AA's coming in, yeah. He's going to get the TP out. No cold feet proc for you. So Monkey Spanner just lose a dazzle at the mid lane. That could have gone a bit worse for him, although they do also give up the bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and this Ember Spirit is getting super scary. 4-0-1, lasted on a tower. Easily the top net worth by 1,300 gold.
Yeah.
And he can just walk around the map picking up solo kills on almost anyone, really, at this point.
Yeah, unless Clinks has like a death packed up and a ton of HP, most of these heroes can just be brought down. Axe is not looking too tanky. He's just going to rush a Blink Dagger here, which is probably just fine, but he's doing it with a max Battle Hunger build, and that's where you're going to have a Blink Dagger up, and like you're blinking in for a level 1 call with level 1 counter heal hits. Like, that's not exactly a scary thought.
Yeah, I honestly think this build is a little bit outdated. Is that a fair word to use? I think maybe just with the recent changes, you do need to.
I think it's a very lenient word to use.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't seem to be, unless you're like power leveling and getting a ton of experience. I don't think you want the Battle Hunger at level 7. And as a tri-lane hero, you're not getting that much experience.
I mean, Battle Hunger is pretty scary with Ice Blast, but
Dire's bottom tower is under
yeah, I
attack.
don't know. I don't think that justifies it.
Well, our boy Khan's picked up his Orchid recipe. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the actual Oblivion stuff that he needs. He needs to go back to potions class, man. I guess maybe he could have bought it. Before he died, he probably just bought it because he had just enough money for it, so he didn't want to lose any extra gold.
Gotta save that. Gotta spend up that unreliable gold.
Yep.
But MVP splitting the map really well. There's reaction coming out from Monkey Spanner.
Oh, there's a zip in top lane. Khan, he's just going to get burst down. And he's still looking. Well, Adam nicely dodges the Ice Blast here. There's actually a zip in from 2D now. Trying to look for Adam here. Needs a bit more damage. One more right click should be enough. Will be enough. And Miranda goes down. So they do get the return kill, but again, losing their Clinks. This is really costing them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Man, Andrew has got to be the most like hero kill focused Nature's Prophet that I think I've ever seen. I mean, he's trying to TP into every single one of these engagements. He does swing back mid now to start looking for the tier 1 tower. And nice jump in from Mace.
Yeah, Danny takes a ton of damage, but level 1 call. No duration whatsoever. Oh, I guess it's level 2, to be fair. I guess the call duration doesn't scale that well. The cooldown improves quite a bit, but yeah. They just don't have the lockdown to kill the Ember Spirit. Like, after their Axe call, unless Storm's there with a pull, they're not getting that kill.
Yeah, and well, the thing with the extra duration is, as well, is it's that little bit closer to getting Cold Feet to coalesce, and
yeah,
that's the other big thing here.
What's the... It's a 4-second. I guess the Axe AA doesn't quite cut it, but... Oh, Ember Spirit? No, it doesn't go for a Searing Chains there. Probably can't get a kill on the Dazzle when he's got the heal as well as Grave. And MVP, they're up 13 kills to 8. This is, all in all, a really good start for them, it feels like, in this best of 3.
And actually 13 to 6, right? If we...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if we factor in those 2 deaths to neutrals. So they're actually further ahead than it looks like on the board.
Yeah. Monkey Spanner are the ones up 1k gold. Still. Like, they're 3 cores. And part of that is because Nature's Prophet's really not farming well. Like, only recently have we seen Nature's Prophet pick up any farm whatsoever, so... If Nature's Prophet... I mean, at the same time, they wouldn't have got all these kills if Nature's Prophet was farming away and not keeping around the map.
No.
But,
yeah. I'm with you, though. I think he can now afford to spend a little bit more time just AFK in the jungle, Wrath, TP in when he's needed.
Max has gone chop, looking for another chop here in the jungle. Radiant jungle. He's going to find somebody, but he gets lifted up before he can use the Culling Blade. He may just go down. See him actually the first take a fall. The Grave comes out as well from the Dazzle, but not going to save his own life. And now Danny with a Sleight of Fist finishes off the Axe. 2 for 1 here. Danny getting himself a double kill. This Ember Spirit, man, he's just really, really fat.
No, he's huge. He's level 11. He's working on... what's he actually working towards right now? I guess this is just going to be Battle Furies? Yeah. Oh, well, fair enough.
The good news for Monkey
Radiant's
Spanner is they are
bottom
going to have
tower
double
is
Orchid
under
up soon.
attack.
They've got the Clinks, he's going hunting, but first gank of the game for him, not going to work out too much. So he's going to TP home by the looks of things and just look to back up his team. Storm's Orchid almost complete as well, just 200 away. Do you feel like these two Orchids are going to actually give them openings to get back in the game, or is it not going to be enough?
I feel like they're far enough behind that MVP could maybe 5-man a little bit to get down these next 2 tier 1 towers, and in those fights the Orchids are nice, but not nearly as relevant as they are for pickoffs. Looks like Adam's gonna get jumped top lane though.
Nice play. AALT with the Axe Blink, and they snipe him. Andrew actually TP'd in as well. He needs to be careful. Axe is chasing, and Andrew's gonna TP out, and he gets the Battle Hunger off. There's a Blink call. Andrew's just straight up dead here, it looks like. No Culling Blade up, but knocking him out. Dazzle gets the last hit, so 2 kills for Monkey Spanner. They're definitely still in this game. Like, the graphs are saying they're ahead, and they have been ahead for most of the game. And now, considering they're actually farming well enough to stay in this game, and they've suddenly got 2 Orchids up, and Axe who's starting to actually get some good momentum. He gets a couple kills. He's had his Blink Dagger. He can look towards his first tanking item as well with 1500 gold. Monkey Spanner can't be in that bad of a position, really.
Damn, we're talking about this Ember Spirit as though he's unstoppable and he's going to take over the entire game, but he's still pretty squishy. If he makes one positioning mistake, he's in some big trouble.
Mid lane, Khan should have managed to sidestep away from this one as actually gets the kill on the Crystal Maiden. Now there's a zip in from the Storm Spirit. Will go on Andrew. This is another Orchid's coming out. Andrew could be in trouble. No, Clinks decides against it. Will back off. 2D used up most of his mana there and wants to pop this regen room, but has to wait for the Battle Hunger, and unfortunately, as a result, can't really commit to the kill. And I feel like, just in general, like they've got a really good lineup for catching out the Ember Spirit. Storm Spirit's one of the better heroes against Ember Spirit because you can zip find him before he can just... Because Slider Fist is so annoying because you can't actually engage with him, but with a zip in and an Orchid, you can actually try and snipe him off.
Yeah, and nobody else is scary enough right now to, in a full 5-on-5, actually consider engaging on. If you kill the Ember Spirit, you've pretty much dealt with all of MVP's damage. Adam has a little bit to contribute in the fights, but Andrew is still just kind of dirt poor. The Rubik is more farmed than the Nature's Prophet, which is a terrible sign.
He had this gloves a long time ago, and there's no Midas. I think this is 20-minute Midas territory where we're approaching.
Yeah. I mean, he's just sort of chilling out, standing around right now. But there should always be farm for you to find on the map as a Nature's Prophet. You can Ancient, you can jungle, you can split push. Danny gets jumped, but just survives the Orchid gank there.
Clinks almost poking him down. If only he had some treads, would have probably had that kill. And meanwhile, the mid lane, they've got a blink in. They've actually caught out Adam here, and Adam going to go down. MVP is getting punished across the map. I mean, I think part of this is not like the current MVP Hot 6 roster. I think they have to play with this roster because of the Starladder rule. But they have added 2 new players, and that's maybe something which is just affecting their team and their team synergy here. Because they're just looking, like some of their players just seem a bit lost with their movements. I mean, we talk about Andrew not farming all that much, and just in general, like players like we just saw in the Mirana, getting caught out kind of foolishly in the mid lane. Gonna miss that blink call. Hey, ultimately, we'll go flying in here. We'll be around 2-3 heroes. It's gonna catch up Dubu, but looks like Monkey Spanner don't want to overcommit to this one.
Radiant's bottom tower
got what they came
is under
for.
attack.
Not really worth fighting to try and bring down the tier 2 at this point. Still a tier 1 to take bottom lane, which should be pretty easy prey. Even if they only just, posture a whole bunch of heroes top from the jungle for a little bit and then just let the Clinks go and snag bottom lane. So, yeah, I think Monkey Spanner, things are looking pretty good. 4k gold lead, 4k experience lead. Prophet still no Midas. He's and on that note about them changing players, do you know what the circumstances of the 2 players that got replaced were? Are they leaving because they wanted to? Are they getting booted? Because
I have no idea.
I mean, if you had players that were like, oh yeah, hey, you're off the team, but we need you to come and play for Starladder.
Yeah, that would be kind of awkward. Quickly we'll see Khan get caught at the top lane. This is a good kill to get on the Clink because one more item and it feels like Clinks will start snowballing. But it definitely creates a lot of tension within the team if the players are theoretically being booted, and then it's like you still got to play with them for a few more matches.
Yeah, it sounds like an odd situation to be in, but Monkey Spanner, things looking really good. Clinks did get picked off there. Looks like he's actually working straight towards crit, which is I mean, he's just got Blades of Attack right now. I would expect to see a BKB as the next choice, but
yeah,
just going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, I missed, but it does farm up that ancient stack that was there. Just use a bit of Sleight of Fist action. Actually, Axe is going to find a kill here. Top lane, they catch up the Mirana. This Mirana has been very dubious with some of his plays. He's getting caught a lot by these blink initiations.
The Dire have so little vision. If you check out Dire warding right now, it's just the one ward down by the Ancients. So as soon as you're sort of past, you know, past around here in the lane, you just have no idea. And there were so many heroes off the map. It was a very dangerous position for the Mirana to be farming.
There's so many heroes that can hunt you. You've got a Storm Zip initiation, you've got an Axe with a Blink Dagger, Clinks with an Invis Orchid, and then on top of that there's an AA Ice Blast that can fly in as well. So Monkey's going to have a really good lineup for just punishing MVP, and now they're going to find somebody here. The Crystal Maiden, or Crystal Maiden, will go down to the right clicks, and now 2D goes zipping in here. Wants Dubu. Dubu has a Ghost Scepter, but that's not going to save his life though. Axe finishing off the kill there. The Searing Changes there doing a decent amount of damage. Here comes an arrow. Nace is going to... Oh, he just somehow dodges it there. I don't even know if he saw it. Danny gets called up here. There's going to be a weave coming out from the Dazzle. They want to kill off the Ember Spirit. He tries to Flame Remnant out of there. 2D taking a lot of damage. Grave going to keep him alive for now. Fire Remnant is there. They want to maybe get the kill on 2D, but the Grave keeping him alive not for much longer. Double kill. Godlike streak going the way of Danny. He's not done as well. He wants Park as well. He'll get Park. There's your triple kill. Make it an ultra kill. No, don't make it an ultra kill. Mirana takes the last hit, but Ember Spirit proving to be boss. Like, you can be behind, but Ember Spirit will still possibly clean you up.
Yeah, Danny is definitely the MVP of MVP right now. He's pretty much putting the team on his back at the moment. And they've still definitely got the opportunity to come back in. They got those kills. Andrew, meanwhile, he's finally finished his Midas. He's got a much more healthy gold total as well. 1,800 gold farmed up. So he's kind of on the road to recovery.
I think that was his first Midas use, though. I think he picked up the Midas before that fight, maybe? I'm not sure, but that was like one of the slowest Midases I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it was not very timely at all.
You look at his score though, like 1-3-13. That's high kill involvement. Like that, on paper, suggests he's played a good game, but he's just been very farm deprived.
In fairness, I think something like 8 of those would have been in just the tri-lane skirmishes top or something like that, and then we've had probably 15 minutes or something since then. So. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's been super efficient with his farming, but he's got his Midas. He's a Nature's Prophet. Should be able to catch up from here.
Max has gone back for a Blade Mail, has completed that one. Picks up a Vitality Booster now as well, so he's just going to start looking to tank up as much as possible. Clinks has found Andrew, not to mention the Crystal Main. Sunby, down you go. Prophet's like, I'm out of here, boys. Didn't even offer a single helping hand. Not that he could have done anything at all there, but sad days.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now gets a tier 1 tower as well, so he can't.
Bottom tower is under
good
attack.
bit of play there. Oh, nice tier 9 coming in
Dire's
from
bottom
Andrew.
tower has been
The
denied.
TP instant deny.
Yeah, and this
Radiant's
game's
top
just
tower
going
is under attack.
back and forth, honestly, at the moment.
I give Monkey Spanner a slight edge, but at the same time, like, it's the Ember
Radiant's
Spirit
top
factor. He's got a
tower
Battle
has
Fury,
been
he's now got a
denied.
Crystallis. This game's going to come down entirely to Danny. Like, that's pretty much how, like, your Prophet's underfarmed, your Mirana's kind of underfarmed as well, like, considering that was your tri-lane carry. Well, not really tri-lane, the supports help mid a lot, but Ember Spirit's the only one with any decent farm, so he's the one guy to look to.
Protect the Ember Spirit at all costs if you're MVP.
Meanwhile, Monkey Spanner, they've got 3 farmed core heroes, so they've got much better farm distribution across the board. At the same time, those 3 heroes are not ridiculously farmed. Clinks especially, he's been picked off a few times. Like this Clinks, I feel like, should have another item very soon, but he's just not getting it. They've got sentries all over the map, trying to just scout out any of his movement. That's the one thing they have got. You talk about them not having much observer vision, but they've got sentries all over their jungle.
Yeah, the supports have invested a lot of money here. The Rubik's actually managed to pick himself up a Ghost Scepter, so he's feeling a little bit more safe, but the poor Crystal Maiden is still just wandering around with Tranquil Boots and a wand.
Dire's middle tower
Clink's
is
going
under
to start
attack.
working on this tier 2 tower. Does get
Dire's
lifted up.
structures are
I'm just
fortified.
going to back off, and it looks like they're not going to see any further commit to this one. Danny still farming away at the Ancients. He wants to finish his Daedalus. He's actually pretty close. Has he got it? He's got a Daedalus battle through. 24 minutes in. This is a scary amount of Ember Spirit farm. At the same time, if they kill him, that's a beyond godlike streak. That's 1k gold to whoever kills him. And chain.
Yeah, they just need to be careful that they don't. They make sure that either they have the one Orchid or something or Disable on him before everybody rushes in. Because if you're clustered up against the Battle Fury, there is, I think, some shot potential. Yeah, here for Danny with Side of Fist.
One crit and people are gonna die. Well, a couple crits and people die in that cleave. I agree. And this is where I think Danny does not want to go too greedy here. He should go back for something like a Lincoln Sphere, just to block those Orchid initiation. Oh, there's a zip to the high ground here. The silence has gone on Dubu. Ember Spirit, he's also been, hasn't been silenced up until now. He's going to get caught up by an Ice Blast here. The Clinks right click damage. Danny will go down. AA gets the kill. That's a lot of gold going into his pockets. The park. Suddenly, Uncle McScrooge is nice and rich here. 2D wants Adam as well. He'll get Adam. So 2 for 1 so far. They did end up losing the Dazzle here. Meanwhile, further along, it's Nate, the Axe. Still manning up. Axe wants some more action, and he's not going to find it. He's actually decided to retreat. No, he wants to go back in now. Wants to maybe finish off the Rubik here. They're trading Battle Hungers back and forth. He Blade Mails the Battle Hunger damage, helping him out get that kill on the Rubik, and will go down for it to a Crystal Nova, so bit of an odd fight, but they kill the Ember Spirit. That's the big thing.
Yeah, Ember dies at the very start. Got a grand total of, I think, 1 Side of Fist off, and that was it.
I was thinking, like, you want that kill going to your Clinks or your Storm, but AA suddenly got an Aghanim Scepter in 200. That's actually pretty good that AA got that kill. Oh, bottom lane, Andrew's dead. Suddenly, Monkey Spanner, like you say, this game just so back and forth. 1 minute, it's MVP looking good with the Ember Spirit. The next minute, Ember Spirit's dead and Monkey Spanner are back in control.
Yeah, but MVP still haven't been on the Radiant side of the map for a while now. So I think things are, like you said earlier, definitely looking Monkey Spanner's way right now.
Pushing and theoretically ending a game against Ember Spirit, though, is always going to be the fun, tricky part. That's what we have to see what Danny looks to do. Moving on. Oh, Kanye in trouble. Gets caught. Oh, look at that damage. That was just absolute
940.
Did he use? I think he used maybe the triple fire emblem. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, he chunked him for 2/3 of his health with just the Side of Fist. Yeah, pretty much.
And Clinks sitting on very little raw HP when he doesn't have death pack. I don't think he had the death packed up, otherwise he would have been a lot tankier. And Danny now, 1100 gold up top. He's going to keep looking to push things out as much as possible. At the same time, pushing with Ember Spirit, never fun.
Oh, there's this double damage over here as well. The Radiant don't know it just yet. The Dire did have a ward here just earlier, but Danny's not moving towards it. So if he goes and picks that up, that could just be the next team fight won, in all honesty.
Well, he's going to be forced back by this Ice Blast. They'll actually get him down to like 2/3 HP, being a Aghanim Scepter. And the pings are there on the double damage, so it looks like Monkey Spanner may just go for it. No, Storm will pick it up. Alright. Well, the Dire team do have vision, actually. They're spotting out quite a lot of it. So they know roughly what's going on here, and for MVP, they just need to play very cautiously. Another death or two on this Ember Spirit, or if Ember Spirit dies into that buyback, it's pretty much game over. Not that I think we'll be seeing that, but...
And Monkey Spanner, they've got their first BKB up on the Storm Spirit, so 2D still has a 10-second charge ready to go. The Clinks just picked up the crit, and now he's working his way back towards the BKB. So I think as soon as they have that, that's just going to be the big timing for them. There shouldn't really be anything else that's too far along. And Axe is still scaling okay into the late game, but he's just about to pick up a heart, it looks like. So 3 big items about to be completed. They've got the Gem and the Dazzle as well. There's no real reason to wait around and farm at this point.
I mean, I don't know if you want to group up as 5 and go for a push in Ember Spirit, but they can definitely be looking to get pick off after pick off. Throw AA ultis around, have Storm at bottom lane, Clinks at top lane, Axe at mid lane, just whoever's, just everyone looking for kills as much as possible, and then using that AA ultimate whenever you find anyone. But
yeah, and if you're off the map, the Prophet has to be terrified as well. Yeah. So Andrew's just kind of sitting with his team.
Like you say, I mean, normally Prophet can farm anywhere on the map, but at this point in the game, it's not really the case against the Storm Spirit, Clinks, Axe lineup, and he's going Necrobook, but this is going to be such a slow Necro 3. I don't know how much this Necrobook's going to help him out. He cannot... There's been no split push coming at all from this Prophet. He's almost just better off going like a 4-staff or a Ghost Scepter this game, it feels like.
Now, I think you do have to go for the Necrobook here if you're the Prophet, because I think realistically the only way that MVP win this is Monkey Spanner push up for a tier 3 or they push up for a tier 2. They get wiped out by the Ember, and then you have to hammer all the way down the lane to the tower, bring it down. And they don't have a Deso, they don't have anything else to help out. So I think you still have to go for the book here just to make the pushing a little bit faster. Not so much for the split push aspect, like you mentioned.
He's getting some decent, push happening at this top lane, and for now, Monkey Spanner just not bothering to TP up there. So potential tier 2 for tier 2 definitely favor MVP here, because I don't think they want to be fighting right now so much. So if they can get a tier 2 out of this, that's great for them. And Monkey Spanner, they're not looking to TP. Axe doesn't even have a TP. So first TP back comes from the Storm. Where is that Axe? Yeah, he blinks to the side shop. He'll TP now. There's a Storm zipping. He's going to catch up Andrew. He takes a fall immediately. A ultimate going to go in 2. He takes a lot of damage here. He's trying to bottle up 1 or 2 more right clicks. That finishes him off. He drops a gem as well. Axe now, dodges an arrow here. 1 shot, the Dazzle goes down. I think he was even full HP there. Oh my gosh, this Ember Spirit. The crit combined with 1 cleave hit on the Axe who was next to him, and that was a dead Dazzle.
Yeah, and the Storm Spirit as well. He rolled in and then on full HP, and then he was immediately on a quarter after a crit. So
not the best mana usage, but MVP decided to back off. Ember Spirit going to TP bottom. He's going to go for that Lincoln Sphere build, and for MVP, it's going to be a while before they can push, bring down tier 2s, or I mean maybe get some tier 2s, but pushing tier 3s, getting high ground is not really on the agenda for them anytime in the next 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision for Monkey Spanner to back off and try and hold this tier 2, because as soon as this tier 2 top for the Radiant gets knocked over, that's when the Prophet can just... He can even just sit past the river and just keep sending Treants and Necrobook down the wave and just ensure that... pretty much ensure that MVP should be able to get every single Roshan from this point forward, especially once they have a little bit more damage to be able to bring it down. So I think backing off was the right call.
Monkey Spanner have finished the Heart of Terras now on your Axe, so he gets a whole lot beefier, a whole lot tankier, and we'll get an Illusion Rune as well. But this game is really a bit of a... I don't know about stalemate, but like both teams have options and plays they can do, but it's definitely a very even game. Like it feels like it's at that kind of 50-50 point where it could go either way. The gold graph is more or less even, just a 1,000 gold lead for Monkey Spanner. Experience a couple thousand MVP's favor, and at this stage of the game, those 2 small advantages going either way means absolutely nothing. So well, another BKB for Monkey Spanner though, so they've got 2 BKBs on their side.
They still have to lock down this Ember Spirit, and he's now got a Manta style, in fact.
Dispelling Orchids is nice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of extra agi as
Here
well.
we go. Gets through the first Orchid. We'll get pulled immediately after. We'll get called as well. That Manta style. Not doing too good.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Did he not have a Fire Remnant up? Like, he mantas off the silence. He should just immediately Flame Remnant out of there, but...
Yeah, I don't think he had one that he was that was up and ready to jump to.
Well, that's a big pick-off here, and suddenly Monkey Spanner thinking, can we get Roche? Can we push out of this? Let's try and get Roche, guys, and towards the pit they go. Khan will get closer and closer to his Daedalus, and suddenly things are not looking too good for MVP. This is a best of 3 series, so it's not all over whatever the result may be, but whoever loses this best of 3 series is knocked out of Starladder Korea. Monkey Spanner looks like they're going to be the ones getting Roshan. They do get the minus armor on them from the... Actually, sorry, the plus armor. That's their Dazzle. What am I talking about? And Roshan will go down.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Immortality is mine.
And put it on the Storm Spirit, no big surprise there. He is the one that is... He's more than willing at this point to just ball in, trade the Aegis for the life of the Ember Spirit, and then keep on going. So
now he can use all this mana for kills. Like,
yes, yeah, exactly.
which was part of what makes Storm such a good Aegis carrier. But the Axe is pretty much unkillable. Well, he's not unkillable. That's definitely not true. But if you're focusing him in a team fight, going through 2.4k HP with a Blade Melon Axe, it's probably not going to be a fight that you win. You probably need to be trying to focus down the Clinks, but unfortunately, Clinks with the BKB, bringing him down first gets a lot trickier unless you can chain disable him.
And Ember doesn't have buyback. He's just no chance that he gets buyback soon. Oh, 2D.
They want Danny. He will pop up the Manta style. Axe is looking for a call. Won't actually get it here. Ember Spirit does manage to get his way out of there. Storm going for another zip, and they do bring down the Crystal Maiden. Not the biggest prize for them. And Storm Spirit taking a lot of damage. Ember Spirit goes in again. The Grave going to keep alive 2D. Who's he going to move on to now instead? The Moonlight Shadow being popped in. Buyback coming out from the Crystal Main. He just gets popped. Khan going to go down as well. This is not a good fight for Monkey Spanner, especially if they lose Storm again. I don't think they will. He pops the BKB. He looks to go in. Nace the Axe goes down. And then Mirana still alive and kicking. 2D gets the Rubik here, but so far, MVP have only lost their supports here. They may lose Danny, though. Danny taking a lot of damage on the front lines. One more right click. That'll do it. He goes down. 2D trades his life for the Ember Spirit. Still, that is not how you saw that fight going if you're a Monkey Spanner. That was just not good execution. They just completely overextended there.
Yeah, that was... And the Aegis was their one big shot of getting up on the high ground. Oh, the Ice Blast! No, never mind.
Andrew will take a lot of damage. He'll be okay, though, but he'll get pretty low. Any smidgen of damage would tick him over. It'll be a TP back home, and hey, it's okay, just the level 2 ulti, so he's still got a bit of a ways before the level 16. That's where things really start to hurt.
Yeah, but I really think that, I mean, if you look at it, it was all 3 cores dead for Monkey Spanner and MVP. Yes, they lost the Ember Spirit again, but it was right at the end of the fight, so not a huge loss. And
yeah,
it was, the game was basically, I think, in 2D's hands there. Had he jumped out and been able to burst down the Ember, he didn't have buyback, would have been dead for a minute, and they probably could have looked to get, you know, maybe their first lane of racks at this point, or at least the tier 3.
I'm really confused by this Manta style pickup on Ember Spirit. Like,
I can't see why it's any better really than just getting a Lincoln's. But...
Yeah, and if you're, well, even BKB, because it's the Orchid, it's basically to get out of an Orchid, and BKB does just that. And then you can't be disabled after you pop BKB. He pops the Manta style and he gets disabled afterwards. Like,
yeah, when I saw the ultimate orb, I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's gonna be a Lincoln's, and then Manta got delivered. Yeah?
I don't know. We've got a Diffusal Mirana, which is kind of unorthodox as well. Diffusal's one of, like, is going to be one of the worst items in the game. Or at least the most situation. It's so situational that it's kind of bad. Maybe not Rod of Atos.
I don't know. What do you think you should have gone instead? I think that the Diffusal's all right here, just as like a cheap damage item. Didn't have an orb just yet either.
Mjolnir just does. You get so much more damage out of Mjolnir, like Maelstrom into Mjolnir.
No, I think, yeah, actually very true. If you're just gone for the Mjolnir, just had a Maelstrom, the lane pressure for the Mirana would be a whole lot better.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Diffusal seems okay on like illusion-based heroes, but beyond that, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Mirana has a Perseverance, so possibly a Lincoln's build coming out from Mirana. We go back to the... I see Andrew going to get caught out now. The pickup's being found by Monkey Spanner here. Moonlight Shadow does get forced out. They're going to lose Ancient Apparition. He does get up an ultimate here. Danny needs to be careful. He gets caught up by a Cold Feet, but they're not going to follow this one up. They decide fighting into an Ember Spirit, not in their best interest.
Yeah, and as things drag on, the Prophet and the Mirana are actually starting to sort of come back into the game. Before, it was definitely 1v3 as far as cores were concerned, but before too long, they're going to have other problems to deal with over on Monkey Spanner. And while they do scale reasonably well into the late game between their 3 cores, if this continues going at this rate, I think MVP do outscale them in the ultra late game.
Now we're going to go flying mid, not going to land. So, the one, I guess, possible justification of Diffuser Blade, you can take off Grave with it? Yes, no, maybe?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
I didn't think so either. I saw one or two people in chat mention that. I was like, that doesn't sound right, but... Oh, you're definitely a mechanics kind of guy, so I'll take your word for that.
There are some things that Dota 2 messes me up on, and then there's also the like obscure things, but I'm pretty sure that you can't remove Shallow Grave with Diffusal. Oh, Andrew, not gonna work.
Hey, ultimate can come in, but not even going to be needed. 2D committing all his mana in these kills, though, so it's really eager for it, but all in all, MVP. They can't really afford to keep having these pickups. This Prophet's had a rough game. I mean, only 17 deaths, but he's just not farmed all too well. Not being able to find too much on the map anywhere at all.
7 deaths.
Dire's bottom tower
I heard.
is under
I think you said
attack.
17. I was like, wow, 17 deaths. That's a whole lot. But no,
That would
that's
be-
7 deaths, not too bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's reasonable. Considering the but he's just like you say, he's always just standing around not doing anything because he's playing so cautiously that because he doesn't want to die.
Yeah, he's very afraid at all times. He even went for the Ghost Scepter here as well.
Oh wow. Oh.
He orchided a
Orchid-
creep,
Yeah, he must have.
or
Mirana was
the
not
Mirana, or the Mirana Diffusal Blade did herself
Yeah, maybe.
and removed
No,
it.
it was
But
on
I don't
7
know.
charges already, so
Okay, so it just orchided the creep.
silly Karn. Don't do that. It's bad, Karn. Axe picks up a Shiver's Guard now, so I think Monkey Spanner just seem to be the ones in better control here. Like they're staying on the die side of the map, they're getting more wards up, they're finding the pickoffs, but it's still a case of one bad engagement and MVP could team wipe them. We've seen it happen before with the Ember Spirit, so Monkey Spanner, while they're ahead and in control of the game, they could quickly throw that away with one bad fight.
Yeah, and Monkey Spanner are no longer in the situation as well where they have all 3 lanes pushing in their favor at all times. MVP are actually making their way over, and when they push top, they push bot. When Monkey Spanner deal with bottom lane, they can shove out top lane again. So Monkey Spanner pretty much need, I think, at this point to find a pick-off with the Storm or the Clinks, find a pick-off with the Smoke, just because continuing to farm, continuing just to play, you know, lanes back and
Radiant's
forth doesn't
middle
really work out for
tower is
them
under
very
attack.
well. And
Dire's
like we said, as soon as that tier 2
is
tower
under
goes
attack.
down top lane, it makes it very easy for the Nature's Prophet to secure Roshan. Even if he goes up there and gets a little bit of damage down on the tier 3 and then dies to the Storm or the Clinks, well, that hero is going to take a little bit to get over to Roshan, and MVP should be able to clean it up. So that's something to keep in mind as this game drags on, and I think Monkey Spanner are feeling that they want to end this reasonably quickly if they
Yeah,
can.
they're not really playing towards that to be great. What? Ethereal Blade. I was keeping an eye on Andrew, like seeing him stockpile golems. Like, okay, well maybe see like something like a Hex come out soon, and like this is where I felt like MVP would be they could be given a lot of time to farm these big items. Like Ember Spirit, he's gonna have another item soon. Andrew, in theory, could have practically had a Hex in like 1,000 gold, but he picks up an Ethereal Blade instead.
I don't like this at
No.
all. There's still a 9-second BKB on the Clinks and an 8-second BKB
What do you
on
need
the
an
Storm.
Ethereal Blade for? Your supports have Ghost Scepters. You don't need to be protecting them.
Yeah,
They can protect themselves. I mean, they may feed, but that's inevitable. The Ethereal Blade's not going to change that.
Yeah, and also you use it on somebody on the enemy team, and then your Ember Spirit can't hit them with Sleight of Fist, so your primary damage source is, I don't know, this is a very strange decision from Andrew, I have to say.
Yeah, this is very unexpected. Monkey Spanner, I mean, they're just throwing them a bone time and time again. Monkey Spanner just being aided by MVP, it feels like. Roshan will respawn, and it looks like Monkey Spanner going to be the one inside the Roshan pit for now. They don't see MVP, and that's why they're scared fighting. If they're grouped up in the Roshan pit against an Ember Spirit, potential disaster could come, so... that's why they're not coming to the Roshan just yet. They'll see actually the Ember Spirit up top lane and maybe consider going in for Roshan. We need to maybe see some more heroes here. Ember Spirit, Fire Remnant's out of there, and well, Monkey Spanner just a bit too scared to actually go for Roshan right now.
But if they back off, I think if they show anybody top lane, I mean, it looks like MVP don't know that Roshan is respawned just yet. I think otherwise they would just be moving over towards the pit, waiting for somebody to show up and farm top, and then just immediately take it. So
Yeah.
that lack of information for them is gonna end up costing them what could have been a free Roshan, just from that play that they made top lane, and Monkey Spanner choosing to be really defensive at the end of the day. So both teams are just kind of huddling around right now. Our MVP vaguely moving towards a smoke. They do have one on the Crystal Maidens, so
I think
looks like maybe that's the game plan.
I feel this kind of passive play favors MVP a little, because I feel like they're going to get...
Yeah.
They're definitely going Ember Spirit can still benefit from, well, pretty much 2 more items. He'll finish maybe a Lincoln's and then 1 more damage item to replace the drums, and then Prophet can definitely benefit from a Hex, assuming he gets a Hex. As for Monkey Spanner, like, I don't feel like they're getting much stronger than they are right now. Axe is pretty much peaked. Storm Spirit, he's pretty much peaked with his Hex, and Clinks, well, he can maybe get, what, another damage item or like a Skadi, but
Dire's
I
middle
don't see
tower
Clinks
is under
getting that
attack.
much scarier.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, they have this Hex up on the Storm now, but until that was picked up there, and now that they've had that picked up, their gap closing on the Ember Spirit doesn't really improve that much from this point forward, unless the Clinks say wants to get a hex of his own, or or something along those lines. Maybe the axe can work towards something, but this is about as much pick-off power or as much power to lock down the Ember Spirit as they're going to get. And Danny not going to go for the Lincoln Sphere here.
Yeah.
Just another Battle Fury.
You go big, I guess. That's that with the side of his. Was that full HP?
That was full HP.
Yeah, I lost control of the camera for a second, but whoa, gonna catch out an arrow here. 4885 could be in trouble here, but they're going on Danny. Danny will get brought down first. He's got a buyback. He's gonna use it. If he dies again, it's all over. And Monkey Spanner have cleaned up 2, 3 now. Buyback from the Ember Spirit. There's no further buybacks, and that was just a buyback into nothing. He should have at least waited maybe to use that buyback, because the fight was already over. It was already lost. Monkey Spanner, though, they can't turn a good team fight into much more, because they've got to back off, defend top, and, well, I think more than anything, they just don't really feel like pushing into this Ember Spirit now. Yeah. I don't know what MVP do from here on out. Maybe they pick off Clinks here. Clinks goes rushing in here, pops... doesn't actually have BKB, has his Orchid up. With the help of the axe, he's trying to bring down Danny, and Danny may just die for a second time. The big cleave's coming out! Oh boy! Danny doing a ton of damage here. We'll finish off the axe. Wants to go back in. One more side of fist. We'll finish off the Clinks as well. Ember Spirit Dota, boys and girls. Ember Spirit Dota. Thank you, Ice Frog.
Radiant's middle
Press
tower
sleight of
is
fist
under
twice.
attack.
Win team fight.
Oh, man.
I thought he was going to get punished for actually trying to sit and right-click the Clinks, because they thought the Clinks was like, oh yeah, the Clinks is by himself. We'll just pick him off because he ran up the hill, a little bit stupidly. And then the axe jumped in and it looked like, oh, they're actually going to get the kill on the Ember Spirit. And then I guess that'll be that, because he's going to be dead forever. But
Dazzle even came with a great help out Monkey
case.
Spanner, but it wasn't quite enough. This is potentially bad for MVP. AA Ultimate scouts it out. They've got a Storm Spirit as well, who can look to go in, steal the Roshan, do many other things, but at the same time, like, there's no Clinks, there's no Axe, so they can't actually contest the Roshan with a team fight. All they can look to do is maybe try and steal the Aegis, but Storm not being allowed to get near. Sprout being used just to scout out for this Storm Spirit. Dubu needs to be careful, because he may be ends up becoming a focus of the Storm Spirit, but it looks like Roshan will go down, and Danny, standing on top of this one, will pick up the Aegis. So he needed that Aegis after just buying back. That was a very important Roshan for MVP.
yeah, and I guess bringing it up again, if MVP had just known that Roshan was up earlier and they'd gotten it after they'd pushed top lane, then they probably would have had it on the Ember Spirit for that fight bot, and the whole course of the game would have been completely different. But they're back on track now. Gonna go for a smoke, and well, now we're in a situation where a couple of pickoffs for MVP could be the end of the game. And oh, the Clinks.
Oh, man. He's got BKB, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough for him. Well, BKB, TP. No. Okay, he's going to go for the TP now, but it's going to be too late. The right-click damage is there. I think if he instant TP'd, he would have lived with the BKB. I don't think they could have right-clicked him down fast enough.
Axe, what are you doing?
Oh my god, Axe throws. That's what he's doing. There's no chopping from this Axe. Next just goes into 5 heroes. Should be in trouble here. Where's your Ember Spirit? Is he going to go back in? Axe actually gets a kill on the Crystal Maiden. Ember Spirit didn't want to re-engage. That Axe looked like it'd gone... Okay, with the Clinks buyback, I think that scared off MVP. But they lose a Crystal Maiden, and Clinks buys back, so end of the day, that's okay for MVP.
Yeah, that was the easiest, that was the lowest risk buyback forced, I think, that they could have got. I mean, if they'd pushed into the tier 3, done a little bit of damage, there's a chance that the Axe jumps in, catches 2, Clinks buys back, force the fight, right? But if the Axe jumps all the way out past where your tier 2 used to be, even if the Clinks buys back, there's just no chance of him getting to that fight anytime soon. So I think that was almost better for MVP than pushing up onto the high ground, because they may, they may not have known if the Clinks had buyback or not.
Yep. And yeah, they force out the buyback without taking any big losses here. And Ember Spirit still has an Aegis and a good chunk of gold. So even when he uses that Aegis, if he wants to fill that with another item slot, he can look to do so. I'm still so.
Is it rapier time?
Maybe. I'm just so shocked by these item pickups. Like a Manta Ember Spirit, the Morana item build, the Prophet item build. All 3 MVP core heroes have some weird ass item builds.
Yeah, I think Danny's is the most convincing
yes.
of the 3.
I think the Manta's not very convincing, but the fact is the rest of his items give him a lot of damage, so it's not really costing him too much. But, like, Prophet could have a Hex instead of this Ethereal Blade.
Structures are
And you can kind of make an argument for the Manta as well. It's like, oh, it's about as good as the Lincoln's, and you know, against the Orchid at least, and it gives him some extra ad juice.
Khan could be in trouble here. No, the Slider Fist doing so much damage here. Danny needs to be careful. As for this Manta style still, will actually just fire him away as well as back in. 2D taking damage from the Slider Fist. Not enough though coming out from Danny. The Ethereal Blade being used to save Danny's life? What the hell? The defensive Ethereal Blade on the Ember Spirit will keep him alive, but meanwhile his team, the two supports, have just taken a fall. The arrow going to go flying. Not going to land. That, well, I guess that's your Ethereal Blade Nature's Prophet? Question mark? I don't know. Like, you can, sure, you can Ethereal Blade your Ember Spirit, but alternatively you could just Hex the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, I guess they've got the Lincolns on... Oh, Danny. No!
He's got Aegis at least. He'll be coming back and then kill him a second time, though. Uh-oh. That's trouble. He's going to get an immediate Slider Fist. Doing a lot of damage here. It looks like Nace will take a fall. He gets completely abandoned. That's not very nice, Monkey Spanner. Ditching your teammate. And Nature's Prophet managed to apply some pressure at bottom lane, so...
Wow, Andrew has 6.6k gold. It is time to buy something.
Yeah, he's got his gem. Drop that TP scroll, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is
You could give the gem to somebody else.
Yeah, anything.
Like, even if you're saving for buyback, this is a lot of gold.
What? I mean, is it just straight up Hex, or are there any other items that you could possibly consider?
No, I think we're getting to the point where the BKBs are wearing down, and Hex is going to be your best pickup.
Maybe. Let's have a quick look here. Storm Spirit 7 seconds. Clinks, I think, is even... Yeah, he's also 7 seconds, so... Definitely starting to wear down, and give it another 5-10 minutes, and suddenly those will be like 5-second, 4-second BKBs. And Danny. Battle Fury.
Is it another Battle Fury? Yeah, is it another Battle Fury? Is it another...
I don't know.
Or is it a Lincoln Sphere? I don't know.
Look, normally I would say if someone showed me this and like said what's probably better, I would say Lincoln. But I just have a hunch that Danny's getting another Battle Fury. Like, maybe he's just gonna rely on his teammates to keep him alive.
Yeah, it's a Battle Fury.
Oh boy. His teammates don't even have like... Do they have any? They have 0 4-staffs. Like, if he gets initiated on with a Hex, like, a 4-staff could theoretically save him by pushing him away, but they don't even have a single 4-staff on their supports.
Yeah, I'm not even sure on the math of, I know somebody's done it. I forget who it is. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but Battle Furies versus Daedalus versus Rapier.
You get, like, another Daedalus, or...
Yeah, I get the feeling that it's something like 2 Battle Furies, and then you start building... Daedalus.
Well, it's situational because it depends how much they're...
Yeah, how many cleaves you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of random, given that your position from which you're attacking on the hero is random. Well,
if you cleave down like an entire creep wave, then that ends your Slider Fist, because suddenly there's nothing else to really bounce off. But if 5 heroes group up, fantastic. Oh, Danny could be in trouble. He has got a Manta style, needs to pop, will do so. Can he turn this one around? Slider Fist needs to come out. 2D going to take a full Storm Spirit, just gets destroyed on the front lines. Danny's still alive and kicking, taking damage now. He gets a fire run out of there. He goes down. The Searing Arrow chased him down. Murana going to disjoin the Searing Arrow with the Manta style. Nate's taking damage as well. Ember Spirit, I don't think he's going to buy back. Otherwise, he may have used it here. Nate's going to get craved up. That'll keep him alive. And what happened there? Danny, man, he doesn't have the survivability. He also doesn't have buyback now. He's 200 short. That's where Prophet TP mid, get this tower, and then he has buyback. If they can get this tower, there will be a buyback on your Ember Spirit, if they need it. I don't even know if they're going to need it. They can just force TP's top. Prophet can start looking to backdoor this top lane. Necrobook up in 3 seconds, so... No glyph for MVP. Monkey Spanner, they've got their glyph though. Arrow. Ooh, if that arrow hits, that would help out a lot here. The Necrobook's trying to push out this wave. Micro that, man. Micro that. Yeah. He loses his Necrobook. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like Andrew in all sorts of trouble. Gonna get the Sprout actually gets immediately destroyed by the telekinesis now. And the chase is on. Danny's come back. That was his buyback. He did end up buying back, and he's trying to chase down Nace here. Should be able to get this kill. There's your Searing Chain. Nace now. Oh, big crit coming out from Danny. gets the kill. I guess this is where he doesn't need a Lincoln Sphere, because the Mirana has one for him. That's one way to do it? I don't know. What the? It's 9k gold profit.
Yeah, it's time to buy something. Well and truly. Okay, yep, here we go. Hex on its way. Yeah. Hex and buyback.
Seriously, you can pick up Hex buyback as well as like the start of your Daedalus, your Mjolnir, whatever it may be, your Assault Cuirass. You can pick up a Hyperstone on top of this.
Honestly, I'm not even sure if buyback is that valuable for him.
Yeah.
At this point, because the Ember Spirit doesn't have buyback for another 5 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe I guess if he and the Mirana have it, then it's okay.
I don't think Danny even needed to buy back there, did he? Like they were gonna hold. Like Prophet was just gonna split, like counter push, and it was gonna be either a bit of a trade. MVP could have maybe stalled. They did have Glyph coming up in a couple seconds. They've got it now, so I don't know if Danny's buyback was entirely necessary.
Yeah, the problem I think with trying to force the the Prophet split push and the trade is he doesn't really have any. It doesn't really have any great ways to get away if the Storm Spirit is the first one to TP and jumps him. So I think they just played it a little bit more conservatively in the end. But here we go, big smoke. This could be it. Bunch of heroes mid.
This needs to find a kill here. I don't think they want to... They're going to go straight up here. Blink Telekinesis 2 is going to be the target. They want to try and burst him down. The silence is there. That's going to go on your Rubik. Gets caught up on a Ice Blast as well. That'll finish him off. The Storm's already gone down as well. Now, another Sleight of Fist going through. Not quite enough damage coming out. Danny forced a Flame Remnant out of there. Crystal Maiden, Freezing Field doing a decent chunk here. Khan's low, and he hasn't got his BKB up anymore, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Storm buys back. MVP realize they've got to get the hell out of here, and they'll just retreat to the high ground now. With their 2 supports dead, they pretty much have to hide and wait in their base and hope things go okay for them. But they've got no Ember Spirit buyback. Any initiation on him, and it could be all over. And Storm's got full mana. Storm can just go zip in, look for the Ember Spirit with his BKB, and possibly end the game if they catch him out.
Oh, yeah, and Roshan's respawned as well, so it looks like Monkey Spanner picked that one up for free.
How useless does this Mirana feel? I feel like we have not seen Adam do much of anything in this game.
Roshan has fallen.
Yeah, he's basically just felt like the Lincoln's bot for the Ember Spirit. He's never been focused in a fight. I mean, every fight he's sort of there at the end and he gets finished off. He's never really the focus. Yeah, he's not scary enough to try and kill off. So it's the same story kind of with the Nature's Prophet. I mean, you can't really go. Nobody on MVP can go toe to toe with anybody on Monkey Spanner
or Prophet went damage items, which is what just befuddles me. Like they somehow thought this Ember Spirit could do it all, like just carry the entire weight on his shoulders. But either Prophet or Mirana could have gone proper damage items. Like get a Mjolnir, one of the most cost-effective damage items in the game. Get like a Daedalus if you're Nature's Prophet. There's so many options for damage output here. Mirana, I mean, as well, another great potential DPS hero, but neither hero has any damage, and we're 60 minutes in almost. And these 2 heroes are just hitting so soft. Like 200 right-click damage at this stage of the game is just absolutely nothing, considering the base armor of most of these Radiant heroes.
Yeah, and it looks like the Prophet has a whole lot of net worth, but he's still sitting on 5k gold, so a lot of that is not necessarily reflected in what he's carrying around right now. And Monkey Spanner just charging straight down mid. MVP not really in a position to try and force bottom lane. They've got a bit more of a trek. And they've chosen a lot. Well, they were forced to a longer lane as well. So it looks like just free damage onto the tier 3 here. And MVP are scrabbling to get back. Danny had to sell something. He sold his boots so that he could buy a TP.
He picked up an ultimate orb as well. What is this? This is like the triple Divine Rapier Medusa with no boots we saw the other day. Is he getting a Lincoln now?
Why
doesn't he just get a BKB? At this point in the game, I feel like BKB will be a lot better than a Lincoln. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think you just need to avoid the Clinks no matter what in fights. We saw him try to go toe-to-toe with the Clinks mid lane. Didn't work. Oh, Danny.
Well, we get the Manta out of this one. Actually gets kept alive a bit longer. The Ice Blast can go, and Danny is just straight up dead by the look of things. The Ice Blast will finish him off. He goes down. CM will go down, and this is going to be GG. What an absolutely bizarre, strange game that we've just witnessed here. Ultra kill going with 2D on the Storm Spirit. And they'll finish off the tier 4 towers. They'll go for the throne. Monkey Spanner have taken Game 1 at 59 minutes and 35 seconds.
A very odd game. And looking at the draft, I didn't, like, especially with an X, did not think that this game was going to go for an hour. But, well, shows me that I'm a little bit out of touch with Korean Dota, I suppose.
I feel like there was just so many ways MVP could have done a lot better, and even, like, could have won the game. Like, they were in such a good position for so much. The early game, the mid game was a little shaky, but late game they're looking great. They had all this money on their side, which they just didn't use effectively. Marana wasted so much gold. So did your Nature's Prophet, and even the Ember Spirit, I feel like he was just getting destroyed in team fights. Your support's not having 4-staffs as well. Like, the Ghost Scepters are nice and all, but you kind of need the 4-staff to help keep the Ember Spirit alive when he gets initiated on with a Hex.
Yeah, and MVP had such a convincing early game as well. Things were looking pretty good, but that Prophet was just trailing behind the whole time. You wonder if he'd maybe, like, even if he hadn't gone for a Midas, if he just had good farm and gone for something like Phase Boots straight into mech, and they just taken that early advantage in 5-mans, you know, how things could have turned out differently. But
yeah,
very nicely played by Monkey Spanner. You know, things looked a little bit dicey after they traded early game and made some nice decisions, played generally pretty conservatively, and managed to close out the game. Knew exactly what they had to do, which was just kill the Ember Spirit in every single fight.
Yeah, they were the more conservative team and made the better late game decision making. So that does it. Game 1 of our best of 3 goes to Monkey Spanner. It is a best of 3. Loser of this series gets knocked out. Winner will advance to the loser bracket final to verse the loser of MVP Phoenix as well as Bird Gang. That best of 3 is the second best of 3 for today. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, game 2 of our best of 3 series will be live. Stay tuned.